The importance of self-confidence. Self-confidence is a crucial foundation that enables individuals to navigate life with purpose. Lacking self-confidence is akin to a rudderless boat drifting aimlessly, without direction, goals, and easily swayed by circumstances. Regardless of one's intelligence or talents, if fear and timidity dominate, one cannot fully realize their potential. In reality, many live their entire lives in silence, afraid to express themselves. They fear rejection, failure, and judgment. These fears confine them to mediocrity. They don't voice their thoughts, pursue dreams, or step out of their comfort zones, gradually losing faith in themselves. Self-confidence isn't innate, it's cultivated through practice, challenges, and overcoming obstacles. Facing fears and taking small steps beyond timidity helps build confidence. Once self-belief is established, achieving the seemingly impossible becomes attainable. Life is a long journey, and only those who believe in themselves can go far. Don't let fear control you. Start with small actions, nurture self-confidence daily, and you'll discover the immense strength within. Introducing the main character. In a bustling city, a modest family made a living selling salt. The father, a diligent merchant, worked tirelessly to support his wife and 2 sons. Though not wealthy, their life was stable and warm. The 2 sons, despite sharing the same home, had contrasting personalities. The elder son was gentle, introspective, and extremely shy. He spoke little, avoided social interactions, and felt awkward around strangers. His quiet demeanor led others to misunderstand him as slow or even foolish. People easily took advantage of his naivety, yet he never complained or resisted. This behavior disappointed his father, a practical and strict man who often scolded him for being useless and unfit to handle family responsibilities. In contrast, the younger son embodied the father's pride, quick-witted, confident, and sociable. He effortlessly impressed others and received constant praise. The comparison between the brothers deepened the elder's feelings of inadequacy and alienation within his own family. This story begins with that stark contrast, a seemingly invisible person in a noisy world, harboring silent wounds that no one understands. Wounds and loss of confidence. The father's harsh attitude and the disdainful looks from others gradually eroded the elder son's self-esteem. Every minor mistake invited severe scoldings from his father, whom he always tried to please but never received acknowledgement from. Each critical remark felt like a silent dagger, cutting into his already fragile confidence. Outside, friends and neighbors showed little sympathy. They judged his quietness and clumsiness hastily, branding him as incompetent and incapable. No one realized that beneath his shy exterior was a soul yearning to be heard, trusted, and given a chance. These emotional wounds severely impacted his studies. Despite his knowledge, he trembled during exams, unable to articulate his thoughts clearly. Anxiety stiffened his hands and blanked his mind. His grades plummeted, and his self-belief faded. He began to believe he was truly inferior. He stopped dreaming, ceased trying. His shyness transformed into an invisible wall, imprisoning him in a small world filled with inferiority and helplessness. You are watching the video on YouTube Tales Unfold. A major turning point. One day, in his father's absence, the elder son was tasked with overseeing the salt shop, a responsibility he always feared mishandling. Despite trying to stay calm, his nervousness and lack of confidence were evident. At that moment, a group of strangers entered the shop, stating firmly, "Your father instructed us to collect all the salt for urgent delivery to the city." He froze. Though slightly suspicious, fear of making a mistake or causing trouble prevented him from questioning them. His timidity stopped him from verifying the information, and he silently watched them take all the goods. Upon his father's return to an empty shop, fury erupted. "Useless! You've destroyed everything I've built! Get out! Never come back!" The words struck him like thunder. He was speechless. In an instant, all his efforts crumbled. His father's anger, neighbors' whispers, and a sense of failure plunged him into despair. He left home, wandering aimlessly in the dark, carrying a shattered heart and broken spirit. Standing by the river, one thought consumed him. I have no reason to live anymore. A fateful encounter. In the quiet of the night, the young man stood silently by the riverbank, contemplating the end of his life. Tears streamed down as his father's words echoed, "You're useless." Feeling abandoned and rejected by the world, he saw no reason to continue living. Just as he was about to leap into the cold water, a hand suddenly grasped his arm, pulling him back. It was an old man with kind yet determined eyes. The young man struggled and shouted, "Why did you save me? My life is meaningless. I can't do anything right. Even my father despises me." The old man, unperturbed, gently placed a hand on his shoulder and said, "Son, life is a precious gift from the Creator, given only once. If you're still alive, you still have a chance to change. Failure isn't the end, but the beginning of a new path, if you have the courage to continue." These words pierced through his darkness, a glimmer of hope amidst deep despair. 3 life-changing challenges. Seeing the despair in the young man's eyes, the old man offered more than comfort. He extended an opportunity. "If you truly wish to change your life," he said, "join me in facing 3 challenges over the next 3 days. If you succeed, I'll reveal the secret to success." Day 1, talk to 10 strangers. For him, this seemed impossible. Legs trembling, heart pounding, he hesitantly stepped onto the street. Initially ignored or met with annoyance, he persisted. After numerous attempts, he conversed with 10 people, listening to their life stories. By day's end, he realized his fear of communication had begun to fade. Day 2, teach 10 children about the importance of water. Surprised, he stammered, "But I haven't studied much. How can I teach?" The old man smiled. "Just share what you know." He did so, simply and sincerely. For the first time, he felt his own value. Day 3, return home and apologize to his father. This was his greatest fear, but also the most crucial step. Trembling, he entered the house and sincerely apologized. Unexpectedly, his father fell silent, then nodded, offering him a new chance. 3 days, 3 challenges, and a life began to change. Lessons from the old man. Lessons from the old man. After completing the 3 challenges, the young man returned to the old man, eyes gleaming with hope. "I've followed your advice. Now, please tell me how to succeed in life." The old man smiled warmly, looked at him for a long moment, and gently replied, "In truth, you've already found the answer." The young man was puzzled. The old man continued, "Your greatest enemy isn't shyness, but fear. Fear prevents you from speaking, acting, and makes you believe you're inferior. But when you step out of your comfort zone, you realize you can indeed change. People don't see you for who you truly are, but for how you present yourself. If you're always timid, they'll think you're weak. But when you dare to lift your head, express your thoughts, and take action, they'll recognize your inner strength." Placing a hand over the young man's heart, he said, "True strength comes from believing in yourself. When you believe you can, the world begins to believe in you." Tears welled up, not from sadness, but because for the first time he felt valued. He embraced the old man, heart filled with gratitude. That chance encounter planted a seed of faith and transformation in his soul. You are watching the video on YouTube Tales Unfold. An inspiring conclusion. Years passed, and the once shy boy who couldn't voice his thoughts became a successful entrepreneur, respected by many. No one imagined that someone once deemed useless could build a thriving career, not just through intellect, but more importantly, through the self-confidence he cultivated over time. From someone who only knew silence and fear, he learned to stand up, face himself and the world. He realized that change doesn't come from miracles, but from small, persistent steps each day. Every time he dared to speak, try, and step out of his comfort zone, he moved closer to the person he aspired to be. The old man once said, "Self-confidence isn't something you're born with, it's something you must develop. Each time you face your fears, you're building trust in yourself." Now, that young man stands as living proof of those words. His story sends a message to us all. No matter who you are or where you start, if you dare to believe in yourself and persist step by step, you can transform your entire life. Self-confidence isn't a loud roar, but the quiet whisper in your heart saying, "I can do it."